Okay, so for my homework, I decided to build a jungle food web. And so the primary producer level, we have a bush, which is a primary producer, autotroph, phototroph, and a producer. We have a mango tree, which is also a primary producer, autotroph, phototroph, and a producer. Then we have the leaves, which are primary producers, autotrophs, phototrophs, and producers. And so is the grass. And then we also have the flowers, which is also primary producer, autotroph, phototroph, and a producer. Then the primary consumers, we have the cricket, who is a primary consumer, heterotroph, consumer, and a herbivore. Eats the flower. Then the butterfly is a primary consumer, heterotroph, consumer, and herbivore. And it also eats the flower. Then we have the Brazilian tapir, which is a primary consumer, a heterotroph, a consumer, and a herbivore. It eats the grass. Sorry about them doing that, just the barrier blocks are weird. And then here we have the ant. Ant is a primary consumer, heterotroph, consumer, and herbivore. The ant eats the leaves. And then we have the beetle. The beetle is a primary consumer, heterotroph, consumer, and herbivore. Here's the beetle. Beetle eats the mango. And here we have the spider. This is the secondary consumer level. So we have the spider, which eats the butterfly, the ant, the cricket, and the beetle. And it's a secondary consumer. It's also a heterotroph, consumer, and a carnivore. It's angry. And then over here we have the birds, and they're heterotroph, consumer, and carnivores because they eat the butterfly. And they also eat the cricket. Then we have the frog, who also eats the cricket, and is a secondary consumer, heterotroph, consumer, and a carnivore. It's very loud. And then over here, on the tertiary consumers, we have the snake, which is a heterotroph, consumer, and a carnivore. It eats the frog and the bird. Then we have the ocelot, which eats the bird. It's a heterotroph, consumer, and a carnivore. It's also a tertiary consumer. All the way up at the top of the food chain, we have the jaguar, who eats the Brazilian tapir, which is a heterotroph, consumer, and a carnivore. It's a quaternary consumer. And that's the food chain. Oh, we also have an escapee.